Many men believe intimacy fades in relationships simply because of time, stress, or routine. They assume it's a natural part of long-term relationships. But in reality, women rarely lose interest without a reason. Something almost always changes first, and the surprising part is that most men never even notice the moment when that change begins. It doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen dramatically. Instead, it happens slowly, quietly, and often invisibly. Today, we're going to explore the hidden psychological reasons why women sometimes lose desire in relationships, and more importantly, what men can do to rebuild the emotional and mental connection that keeps intimacy alive. In the early stages of a relationship, attraction often feels effortless. Conversations are exciting. Attention feels constant. Small gestures carry emotional meaning. Both partners feel curious about each other, and every interaction feels fresh. In this phase, the brain releases large amounts of dopamine, the chemical responsible for excitement and motivation. Everything feels new, and that novelty fuels attraction. But as relationships mature, something subtle can begin to change. Conversations may become shorter. Curiosity may slowly fade. Daily routines replace spontaneous moments of connection, and without realizing it, couples can start interacting more like teammates managing responsibilities rather than partners sharing emotional experiences. This shift doesn't mean love disappears. It simply means that some of the emotional ingredients that create desire may begin to weaken. For many women, emotional engagement plays a significant role in how attraction develops and continues over time. When a woman feels emotionally understood, mentally stimulated, and genuinely valued, her brain associates the relationship with positive emotional reward. But when those experiences become less frequent, the brain slowly changes how it interprets intimacy. Instead of feeling exciting, intimacy can begin to feel expected. Instead of feeling emotionally charged, it can start to feel routine. This doesn't happen because a woman stops caring about her partner. In many cases, she still loves him deeply. But the psychological environment that supports desire may have quietly shifted. One of the most important factors in female attraction is emotional safety. Emotional safety means feeling comfortable expressing thoughts, feelings, and vulnerabilities without fear of dismissal or judgment. When emotional safety is strong, communication flows more easily. Partners share experiences, thoughts, and humor in ways that strengthen their bond. But when emotional communication gradually decreases, the brain begins to interpret the relationship differently. The same person who once felt exciting may begin to feel emotionally distant, even if the relationship itself remains stable. Over time, this emotional distance can quietly reduce the psychological triggers that support attraction. From a biological perspective, attraction is deeply connected to the brain's reward system. Dopamine, the neurotransmitter responsible for anticipation and excitement, plays a key role in how desire develops. In the early stages of relationships, novelty and discovery trigger frequent dopamine release. Every conversation feels interesting, every interaction feels meaningful, and the brain becomes highly motivated to continue engaging with the partner. However, when relationships become predictable and emotionally repetitive, dopamine stimulation decreases. The brain simply stops associating the relationship with novelty. Without novelty, excitement declines. Without excitement, desire often becomes quieter. This doesn't mean long-term relationships are doomed to lose attraction. In fact, many couples maintain strong intimacy for decades. The key difference is how they maintain emotional and psychological engagement with each other. One of the most common mistakes men make in long-term relationships is assuming that physical attraction alone is enough to sustain desire. Physical attraction is important, but for many women, it operates alongside emotional connection rather than independently from it. When emotional closeness fades, physical attraction often loses its intensity as well. Another common mistake is routine behavior. Over time, couples can begin interacting primarily through logistics. Conversations revolve around schedules, responsibilities, or daily tasks. Emotional curiosity gradually disappears. Instead of asking thoughtful questions or sharing meaningful experiences, communication becomes functional rather than personal. When this happens consistently, emotional distance can slowly grow. It's rarely dramatic. Instead, it feels like a subtle fading of enthusiasm. A third mistake many men make is misunderstanding emotional signals. Women often communicate dissatisfaction indirectly. Instead of expressing frustration directly, they may become quieter, less affectionate, or emotionally reserved. These signals are easy to miss, especially when daily routines are busy. But when these signals remain unnoticed for long periods, the emotional gap becomes wider. What started as a small distance can eventually become a significant barrier to intimacy. The encouraging news is that emotional connection can often be rebuilt. Attraction is not a fixed resource that disappears permanently. It is a dynamic experience influenced by attention, curiosity, and shared emotional moments. The first step toward rebuilding connection is attention. Genuine attention means actively listening to your partner's thoughts, experiences, and feelings. When someone feels heard and understood, emotional closeness naturally grows. Attention also means noticing the small details that often go unspoken. Tone of voice, changes in energy, or shifts in enthusiasm can reveal how someone is feeling emotionally. The second step is novelty. Novelty doesn't require dramatic gestures or expensive experiences. In many cases, small changes can reactivate the brain's reward system. Trying new activities together, sharing new conversations, or simply introducing playful curiosity into daily interactions can bring freshness back into the relationship. Novelty signals to the brain that the relationship is still evolving. And when the brain perceives novelty, dopamine levels increase again. The third step is slowing down communication. Many couples unintentionally rush through conversations because of busy schedules or distractions. But meaningful connection often requires moments of presence. Being fully present during conversations, asking thoughtful questions, and showing genuine curiosity about each other's experiences strengthens emotional bonds. Over time, these small behaviors create a powerful psychological effect. They remind the brain that the relationship still offers emotional reward, curiosity, and engagement. It is also important to remember that attraction is not purely emotional or psychological. Physical health can also influence desire and energy levels. Stress, fatigue, and lifestyle habits can impact mood, motivation, and hormonal balance. When individuals feel physically exhausted or mentally overwhelmed, their capacity for emotional connection may decrease as well. This is why maintaining personal well-being plays an important role in healthy relationships. Adequate sleep, regular movement, and balanced nutrition support both physical energy and emotional stability. But even more important than physical habits is mindset. Many people approach intimacy as something that must be maintained through effort or performance. In reality, the strongest relationships often grow from curiosity rather than pressure. Curiosity keeps conversations alive. Curiosity invites partners to continue discovering new aspects of each other, even after years together. When curiosity disappears, relationships can become predictable. But when curiosity remains, attraction often follows naturally. At the heart of lasting intimacy is a simple but powerful principle. People want to feel seen. They want to feel appreciated. They want to feel emotionally significant in the lives of the people they love. When a woman feels genuinely valued, mentally engaged, and emotionally connected, attraction often remains strong even in long-term relationships. It is not constant excitement that sustains desire. It is continuous emotional curiosity about each other. So if intimacy ever begins to fade, the most important question is not what technique is missing, but rather, what emotional experience might be missing? When emotional engagement returns, desire frequently returns as well. Strong relationships are not built on perfect behavior or endless excitement. They are built on attention, curiosity, and a willingness to continue understanding each other over time. And when two people continue choosing curiosity over routine, connection over distance, and presence over distraction, intimacy has a powerful way of finding its way back.